You see, the ultimate power that we have is just the ability to just change the image, change the way people perceive us. By you controlling how people see you, you give yourself the ultimate power. It is without a shadow of a doubt. That's the most powerful things that humans have. Why? Because humans are naturally gullible to appearances. Whatever you show them is who they think you are. So use that power. Because if you don't use it, oh my God, like a bath. By the way, this week we're having a meditation group in Brooklyn. It's the meditation circle we have in Bushwick. If you guys want to attend, click on the description down below, and you guys can contact me and my team, and we'll ask you a few questions. And if you qualify, you guys can attend the group. Okay, we wanted it to be a short group, but it seems like it's bigger than I expected. So purchase the tickets now before they run out. Click on the description down below. You'll be able to either DM me on Instagram or send a WhatsApp message. Okay. You see, everything in life manifests itself as a form, right? Your thoughts become reality when you put it into action. It starts from abstract to something real, from the spiritual to the physical world, right? Everything has a type of form, right? Your mind, your behavior, your mindset, the way you think has a form, and that manifestation is in the way you behave, the way you dress, the people who you choose to acquaint yourself, right? And because of that, the power that you have is to not let anything become a solidified form. The power that you have is to become formless, right? And what you're able to do, right, is to always be changing with circumstance by taking on a form and hardening like that form. Similar to when wax becomes hardened, it becomes difficult for it to be moved. But when it's warm, you can actually move it around, right? By you taking on a form and hardening, you open yourself up for attacks and disappointments and ridicule, right? It's very similar to when you meet somebody and you like them a lot. In your mind, you solidify an image of them in your mind and say, "This is what I want." You say, "This is what I want no matter what. I want to be with this person. This is what I want." And you start imagining that. And all of a sudden, what initially was a simple imagination, which you could have thrown out, but because you keep entertaining that imagination, that image in your mind, that could be completely impossible because maybe this person is toxic, that form will harden. And you're going to want to make this happen no matter what. See what I'm saying? Formlessness is about being more fluid. It's about learning more about how to let go. Formlessness is that you accept that things don't last forever. That you don't really know people at first, right? That sometimes the reality is the opposite of what you see. That sometimes, that most likely, you don't really know people. You don't really know their secrets. You don't really know everything about the person, because to really know somebody, you got to see their shadow side. And most people are always trying to hide their shadow for social reasons, right? This rationality, accepting this reality that things will change forever, that nothing will last forever, that people are never what they seem to be on the outside, that you could potentially be disappointed, and that things will always be changing, sometimes not in your favor. That means maybe the relationship will end. Once you accept that reality, then that gives you ultimate power. Right? The ability to love without fear. Right? To not let go, to not let people make you bitter, to adapt to circumstance, to excel no matter the circumstance. And above all, to adapt with age and develop the grace and beauty that inevitably comes with age. Right? So as you guys can see, the ultimate power is pretty much understanding that you will get disappointed. And that even if you get hurt, you're not gonna even if you know something's gonna hurt you, you're still gonna risk it because you know you're able to recover, right? And this is the power, is that the ultimate power is pretty much accepting that you will have your downs and that you will make it. That gives you a flexible mind, right? But that's not the only thing. Please keep watching, people. It sounds like I'm just talking about the mentality, but it's not, right? Because it also comes down To not let people make you bitter, where people will disappoint you. You accept that as a reality. That flexibility, where somebody screws you over, you should also be flexible enough to deal with people screwing you over and learn from it and move on from it. Right? To not let people get you bitter, to adapt with age, meaning that if you're not a 20-year-old person, that means you don't dress like a 20-year-old person. Right? That means you don't hold on to the youth. You allow yourself to age gracefully. Because look, the whole point of formlessness is just to control your emotion. If people have control over your emotions and over your fantasies, they're going to control you. And if you're somebody that does not conform and change with circumstance, if you're not somebody that's always aware if you're not somebody that's aware and have your finger up of where the wind is blowing, you're going to get played. You're going to get played by your partners. People are literally going to make fun of you, because a lot of times people who don't change over time look like a relic. They look like a fossil of the past. If you're somebody that as you get older, you want to look fluid. You want to be that older person that people say has a young spirit and that even young people want to hang around with. Developing this formless mindset is necessary so that you don't grow bitter and you keep that mind fresh. By the way, if you guys ever need one-on-one coaching to work with me one-on-one, you guys can click on the description down below where it says work with me one-on-one to see all the coaching options: phone coaching, email coaching. And also check out my courses that I have. Natural Chemistry is a course that I have for women who are in relationships. This course will teach you everything you need to know about setting boundaries, how to communicate, how to get a guy to do things for you, how to find out if he's being faithful, how to keep a guy long term. All of those qualities are very important. And you can get it at $97, and it's a 30-day money back guarantee. And the other course is the Psychological Game of Attraction, which is a course that I have for women who are single, and it'll take you within the first 3 months of the relationship. All right, go check it out. It's a course that I made specifically for women who are single. Click on the description down below and you'll see where you could purchase it. Let's talk about the forms that harden over time and because you don't want this to harden. What I'm about to show you, you do not want it to harden over time, right? What you want to do is develop these traits and make them malleable, because that will give you all the power in the world that you need. That will make you more slippery and more evasive. And these are the things that harden over time. One, fashion, your fashion sense, right? You want to be able to update your fashion sense over time. You don't have to adapt everything that the new kids are wearing, but find something of the new trend and integrate it with your old, with how you used to dress. You see what I'm saying? So it's almost like you don't have to look like 20-year-old people dressing, but find something about the times today that is fashionable. Pick what that is that you like the most, that resonates with you the most, and bring it into your style. What you don't want to do is look like you're somebody from the 70s who still dresses the same, has the same hairstyle, wears the same clothes. You want to continue to update yourself. Why? Because people notice that it's a sign of a flexible mind where they don't just hold on to the styles, they're always updating. And it's even worse with music, with creative people, where a lot of creative people who were creative in their times, they stopped being creative because they didn't update their software. They weren't alert of the changes around them because they thought they knew it all. They weren't alert of the changes, and they didn't update, and times actually passed them by, right? And this is actually an extremely attractive thing. A lot of the times you don't notice that you're actually dressing like people of the past. That is not attractive. You want to at least integrate some of the spices of today. The second thing is another thing that you have to update, and that have to become more fluid, is the manifestation of emotions through behavior and facial expression. Formlessness isn't just being able to change with time gracefully and accepting change, but it's also not letting people see what's going on inside of you. Assume formlessness, right? Don't let people really see what you believe. Don't let people really see what really hurts you. Don't let people really see what are the weaknesses that you have that they could use to take advantage of you. right? When you first meet people, hide it. Don't show people what makes you defensive. Don't show people what triggers you. Because when you show people what you want, which for example, if you really want a relationship, you say you want a relationship, and all of a sudden you look like somebody who wants a relationship. That's a form. Become formless, right? Adapt with time. Tell people, don't make sure that you don't that the person doesn't really know what you want. In fact, be redirect, be indirect, not indirect, but tell people that you want the complete opposite of what you want. If you say if you want a relationship, tell somebody that you don't want a relationship, because then you could act needy. Then you could give the person a gift, and the person, when I say, "Oh, this person is giving me a gift because they're fucking needy," no, they were like, they said they didn't want a relationship, but what's this gift for? It gives you formlessness. They can't really say, okay, this means she wants me, he wants me. No, it's a contradiction. They don't know. They can't hold on to you. It's like trying to grab onto water, right? Because once they know what you want, then they can use that and hold you and move you around, right? Don't give them something to hold on to. Other things that reveal your form is what you share and don't share, right? Sharing your political beliefs, right? Talking about your kinks, all of those things. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong about revealing these types of things, people. Okay. What I'm trying to tell you is that you want to be able to be aware of, how can I say this? You want to be able to be as elusive as possible for people. So if you're a public figure, right, you find out what's the cool thing to believe. It sounds fake. I get it, right? But you have to understand that it's a politically correct world, right? You should not resist that reality. That is a reality, and you cannot change it. Because by you resisting it, you're hardening yourself. You go with the flow. You get what you could get in this type of environment because you cannot change it. And those who resist the political correctness actually get canceled, right? So it's also formlessness with what you share, and also with the relationship aspect, saying what you want, right? Now it's better for a person not to know what you want entirely. It's better for them to say, what does this person really want? Do they want a relationship, or do they want to be casual? By them not knowing, it makes them emotional, and it gives you more power. All right. Other things that harden over time is how people date, right? Where people will only date a certain way based on how the things were in their past. It's almost like people who have been in a relationship for 10 years and then become single. They try to date how they dated 10 years ago, and it's like, no, open your eyes. See that there's a different environment. Stop complaining that it's different, and assume formlessness and adapt to the environment, adapt to the changing circumstance, right? Because a lot of people resent the dating world. A lot of people resent the fact that it is a little harder. People do cheat more often. People are less trustworthy. Don't resent that. Accept that reality and see how you can maneuver around that type of place. Because what a lot of ladies will do, and a lot of guys will do, is that they'll keep using the same strategies they used in the past. You have developed a hardened form of behavior where you're not flexible. You want to be able to see what you're doing wrong and adjust and change, and not find ways to rationalize not changing. Ways that the hardened mind resists change and flexibility is by saying, I'm not that type of person. I feel like I'm not being honest. I feel like I'm not being myself. That's just your own way of resisting new behavior. Belief systems also, it's another thing that hardens, right? Where some women will say, "Oh, no sex before marriage." That's totally fine, but realize if you do that, that's not a strategy that works in this environment. It works under certain circumstances, not here. That's what I'm trying to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is that your ultimate power is being flexible. And a lot of you guys are just not using it. A lot of you guys think that if you lose this person, it's going to be over. That if this doesn't happen, I will never be happy. That I cannot leave this person because I cannot handle the pain. Right? That I'm not attractive enough. Flexibility is all about understanding that everything can change for the good or the bad. And if there's something in your life that you don't like, you can actually do something about it and assume another form and change your circumstance by changing the form that you have. If you're not somebody who could focus, you become the somebody who could focus because your brain is malleable in that way. All right? Another thing that hardens is how you see others, the way you see other people. You got to consistently update what you see in people. It's like parents who don't accept that their children have grown, right? They have hardened the way they see you. They see you as a child. It's their fault, right? And we do this a lot with people. And the reason why people do this is because they're just afraid of death. You see, rather than accept that time is flying and time is moving, a lot of people would just harden the way they see the world, almost like a metaphoric way of stopping time. So they stop updating people. They start listening to music of the past. They keep imagining that people are the way they used to be, even though people have completely moved on and changed. Is your way of running away from the concept of death. All of these aspects are consistently changing people. These things should always be changing. Never letting any of these principles that I just told you, your fashion, how you manifest yourself in terms of your behavior and your facial expressions, right? Sharing people, what you share and you don't share, the style of how you date and what you want, belief system and how you see others. All of these things should always be changing and never harden. Always look for change in yourself and others and others and in culture. And don't resist it. Assume the formlessness, right? Because resisting it will only make you stand out and you become ostracized. And the strategies that you apply will not work because it's a different environment. Or if you don't want to change, and go somewhere that has your belief system, pretty much, right? Because as you get older, you run the risk of becoming rigid. The fear of death causes us to pause everything and stop updating as a way to escape time. Or even when you stay with just one person, you want to feel that stability. So even though this person is not good for you, you still resist change. You're not flexible enough, right? And you stay even though this person is not good for you. You're not flexible enough to be by yourself. You're not flexible enough to even imagine being happy by yourself. Right? That inflexibility causes people to stay in abusive relationships. So what you want to do is be aware of the things that are rigid in you. What are the things that you don't change in you? Emotional reactions. It could be maybe maybe you react needy when somebody cancels on you. You react needy when somebody doesn't show you love. Right? Is it maybe that you have traditional systems of being 100% honest, saying what you want to people, blabbering out of your mouth? Right? What you want to do is apply the following strategies to the parts in you that are rigid and employ that and learn to see the dangers of stagnation. Like people who get divorced after years of being together, right? So let's talk about how to let go of those rigid belief systems, let go of the rigidity of not moving with the time, of not being formless. Let's talk about how to do that. One, know that you cannot take things personal. You have to stop taking things personal, or else you will assume form. Somebody argues with you and you get defensive, all of a sudden you take a stance of defensiveness. You hold on to that and you say, this is what I'm willing to die for. This is what I believe. I disagree with you. I want you to believe what I believe. You're taking a form rather than, oh, interesting point of view. I like the way you're talking about that. Interesting. I never saw it from that perspective, right? Stop getting defensive, because when you get defensive, you take on a form. Make your face formless and let things roll off of you by developing radical acceptance through meditation. You always preach that. Learn to adapt to new views. Learn to ask yourself, maybe I'm wrong about the things that you truly believe. Learn to adapt to new views, to new fashion sense, to new belief systems, and etc. Notice the dating trends and find ways to adapt to it rather than complain about things being different in the past, right? You want to be able to just accept the changes, man. Just accept the changes that happen in life. The next thing what you want to do is adapt to people. Learn to do what other people enjoy. Don't let your self-image stop you from trying new things, right? Learn to say yes more often than not. Have an image of yourself that is open to things at least once, right? Don't say to yourself, I'm not the type of person to try new things. Literally imagine yourself being somebody who tries new things, who tries new food, who tries new clothes, who tries new trends, maybe tries dating a different type of person you normally wouldn't date. Maybe dating somebody with a completely different temperament, making friends with people who are completely different from you, or making the effort of making friends with multiple people from multiple different cultures. It takes effort because as you grow older, you naturally just stick with the things with the books that you read, with the people who you hang out with the people who you hang out with, the channels that you watch. You want to intentionally break it up, right? Don't hold too fast to who you once were or who you are right now. Allow new scenarios to enter your life and don't assume you won't take it. Challenge yourself. Date new people. Go to new places, right? Like what I do, I buy clothes. Sometimes buy clothes I will never buy, right? Or I'll have, for example, like me, I don't need a roommate, but now I want to get a roommate. Why? Because it's something new. Like you're practicing thinking more flexibly. Why? Because having a rigid standard may seem strong. Being rigid and traditional may seem strong, but that inflexibility gets on people's nerves over time, and you may end up pushing people away. Be more inflexible with your standards. If you're somebody who's very rigid, if you're somebody who's very routine oriented, if you're somebody who has a complete perfectionist mindset, break that type of mindset and do something completely different. Learn to be a little bit more disorganized as an exercise in flexibility. Learn to maybe lower your standards as an exercise of flexibility, right? I'm not saying to lower your standards. I'm saying that if you're somebody who's compulsively perfectionist, I'm saying to use that as an exercise in thinking more flexibly. Why? Because in flexibility, by letting people think you're smarter than you really are. Flexibility is you're in a relationship that's abusive and you plan on leaving long term, right? Flexibility is you're in a bad relationship. Maybe you can't leave now, but you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to plan my exit for a year from now. On the outside, you look like you're not going to leave. But on the inside, you're preparing. You're preparing to leave, and also you make people feel like they're smarter than they really are. I mean, you might be really smart. Let people think that they're smarter than you. It always helps, right? You outwardly surrender, and you inwardly stay strong. That's formless because they really don't know you. They're holding on to a phantom, a hologram. And when you leave, once you make your plan to leave, make sure to reveal it and make it a bold move. As an example, you're with somebody who's abusive. A year later, the day has come for you to leave. You just leave. You disappear. You're done. Right? It's a bold move. It's not a progression. Oh, I'm leaving. No, you just leave because you planned it out and you never come back. Like you follow through on your plan. You make a bold, decisive move. Right? And they will never have seen that coming. You see, the ultimate power that we have is just the ability to just change the image, change the way people perceive us. By you controlling how people see you, you give yourself the ultimate power. It is without a shadow of a doubt. That's the most powerful things that humans have. Why? Because humans are naturally gullible to appearances. Whatever you show them is who they think you are. So use that power. Because if you don't use it, you're then going to accept the identity that people tell you. You're then going to accept the identity that your culture tells you. Are you really free if you have no control over how people perceive you? Right? So that's what this video is all about. Learning how to control that image, projecting a formless image, which gives you flexibility, and also being able to have a flexible mind where you're always updating the culture that you're in, noticing changes in culture, noticing changes in yourself, and noticing changes in other, so that you can have your foot in reality. Because when your foot is grounded in reality, your plans to change your reality will have greater force. Anyways, if you guys ever want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org. Become Patreon supporters, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. By becoming a Patreon supporter, you guys can purchase questions that you guys ask me, and I'll make a video about those questions. Okay? Every month, you guys can ask me one question that I make a video about. All right? Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, ladies. So finally, I have released my second course for women, which is natural chemistry. This course is a 5-week course. 5-week course where every week you're gonna get a new set of videos based on specific issues. This course is all about how to create and maintain the attraction in any man. This will help you create love. This will help you deepen the love with your man. This is not about manipulation. This is not about playing games. This is genuine natural chemistry. No more short-term partners, no more being fooled. Why? Because I will reveal to you not only how to create attraction in the first week, but also how to understand male nature, how to understand their tricks, how to prevent from being too attached, signs that he's the wrong guy, signs that he's a narcissist, signs that he's a mama's boy, signs that he's an emotionally available guy, emotionally unavailable guy. We go over everything. We go over this 3rd week, setting boundaries. We go over the 3rd week, controlling your emotions, right? Setting boundaries, 4th week. 5th week, embracing your masculine and the feminine, right? And on top of that, I have over 10 different bonuses. 10 different bonuses. My Lord have mercy, right? With a money back guarantee. The bonus are 1, the natural chemistry, over 10 hours of content, right? The breakup formula, how to deal with a breakup, right? The connecting with your man, right? Establishing a life of abundance, social mastery, understanding your dark side, the goal setting seminar, which is about how to set and achieve goals, practical mastery that will teach you how to master anything, the laws of human nature. I have a book club for the laws of human nature with over 4 hours of content, right? The transformational seminar in a pocket, which is my mindfulness seminar, and the Chase audiobook. This originally is $1,800, but you get it starting at $97, ladies and gentlemen, right? $97. We have different packages, but all of this starts at $97. And you know what? You can check it out for free if you want. Yeah, for all the freeloaders, I have free videos just for you. Free videos, all right? So you could just check it out for free, and then you could get out. Nothing wrong with that, all right? So, and on top of that, it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. No questions asked. That's right. No questions asked. I don't mind. I just want you guys to check it out, because I know when you take one look, you're going to want to buy it. I can promise you. Just like my other course, the psychological game of attraction, it was a hit. You're going to love this one. This one is not about manipulation. This is genuine natural chemistry. Order it now, all right? I'll see you guys inside. Peace out.